Welcome to Kathryn Raaker's World. Innovation, culture, adventure, fashion and health, artists, destinations, traditions. This is Kathryn Raaker's World.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of Kathryn Raaker's World and Let's Just Talk Radio. I have some wonderful guests tonight. They're such beautiful mother and daughter, Bailey Lachelle and her daughter, Fiona Lachelle. And actually, what's the most wonderful thing about this story is that her daughter, Fiona, is one of the bravest young girls I've ever met in my life. And we'll tell her story, right? Bailey Lachelle, her mom, is a Florida native residing in Palm Beach County, where she lives with her husband, stepson, and two daughters. Bailey is a former Olympic level athlete trying out for the women's ice hockey team in 2000, where the team went on to win silver in 2002, a bone marrow donor, and an advocate to be the match while also being trained in emergency medicine. She followed her passion 7 years ago and is now a full-time professional photographer specializing in children and family portraits, while also turning out amazing headshots, and even photography, which is her passion, remains with photographing children. Owning her own business gives her the flexibility to be a coach on the baseball field, teaching baseball to 4 to 6-year-olds, as well as a room mom, active within the school, volunteering as a member of the PTA, where her daughter Fiona attends. She also is a proud mother of one of the most brave and courageous 8-year-olds you will ever meet. Her daughter Fiona is currently standing up for not only her own rights as a child, but the rights of the children everywhere by taking on and disobeying the mandate issued by the Palm Beach County School District, which violates Florida law requiring children to be masked in the classroom without the option of the parental decisions. I want to welcome you to my show today. You two are just beautiful. Fiona, your mom is a very special person, isn't she? And let me ask you, do you think that you get this from your family, your Christian values and you know, family values? Would you say that? I think so. So when did you decide to be this hero for other kids?
About when I started 2nd grade.
2nd grade, and you were 7, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And you're a really smart little girl, aren't you? I heard that you were advanced. You're like my granddaughter. She's an advanced girl. She loves school. Do you love school?
Yes.
And I think, you know, it's important to understand why masks hurt children and they're not good for children. Am I correct?
Yes.
Because you can't breathe properly, right?
Yeah.
And you can't see your friends, right?
Yeah.
So you don't know if they're happy, sad, or what?
Yeah.
So what do you tell me what your thoughts are? You can tell me, just tell me. It's just you, me, and your mom.
Well, I really don't want to wear a mask because you already have like hundreds of things on your hand. You touch it, put it on your face, and then you wear it for about 6-7 hours. And then you breathe in all those germs and stuff. And at lunchtime, you take it down, set it on the table, pull it back up, and you just keep on breathing in all those germs, and then you get sick.
And there's always messy stuff and germs and everything on those tables. Am I right?
Yeah.
Right. So tell us your story. What happened when you went to school the first day and didn't wear a mask? What did they do?
Well, the first punishment was I had to sit in the office and just eat lunch alone.
So what did they do? How did they punish you besides putting you in the office to eat your lunch?
Well, they they take me out of class and they started suspending me for one day, Tuesday, and then 3 days, and it's kept on going on. And I think it was, how many days have I been suspended?
25 as of today.
25, including today.
And the last time you went was a couple of days ago. And what happened when you went to school the last time? Because I think that the most important part is that you're doing all your work that they give you, right?
Yeah.
So, and so I'm going to ask Mom some questions now. Okay, is that all right?
Yes.
You're the star. What can I tell you? Anyhow, Mom, what was it like for you when they started suspending her for, I mean, she was 7 when she first went to school. And I mean, kids don't even like masks on planes. I don't like to wear a mask because I agree with you, and doctors agree with you, that it really doesn't protect you from anything. It actually, like Fiona said, brings germs to you. Cleaning your hands, would you say, Fiona, is the smartest thing to do, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's, cleaning your hands with, soap and water or whatever, that keeps you protected more than anything else, actually. That's what doctors tell me. Okay. Mom, the first time they suspended her, what did you think?
I couldn't believe they took it that far. My husband had actually said, let's go ahead and call their bluff, because they let us know that she would have the silent lunch. The following day would be a temporary removal from the classroom. When I asked what temporary was, I was told until compliance was met by putting a mask on or the end of the day. The third day was an in-school suspension, so that was a second full day in the office. And then on Friday, they called and said she was being suspended for 1 day. I didn't think they'd take it that far. I was completely in disbelief about it.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, I wasn't going to force my child to wear a mask when we opted out at the beginning of the year. And we promised her that she would not have to wear a mask this school year. We told her that parents had the option to opt out, and that if she didn't want to wear it, she didn't have to.
Right. And so then the second time they suspended her, did it get worse?
It was actually a 4-day weekend, and we kind of thought maybe things will calm down over the weekend. It was holiday weekend, and she went back on Wednesday when classes resumed, and we hadn't heard anything at that point, and we got a phone call that Fiona was being suspended for 2 days at that point in time. I picked her up, and her 2 days came and went, and she went back to school, and without any notice, we were told she went back to school 2 days after that, and we were told that she now had a 3-day suspension. They have kept up with the 3-day suspensions 7 times now. She has not been in class since August 31st, which was the day she had her silent lunch. Every piece of discipline on Fiona is for not wearing a mask and complying with the district's mandate.
What I wonder is why this school board, and I think, is there 11 other school boards in Florida that think they know better than doctors and everybody else?
It's down to 8 now.
Oh, it's down to 8.
It's
So
down to 8.
So some of these school boards are smartening up, aren't they? Because they're getting, isn't there a fine going on with that? What the judge came, what did the judge do?
It was and I'm not real great with all of that. It was the Department of Education stepped up and told them a week ago that they had 48 hours to comply with local law, with state law, that they were violating the constitutional rights of parents. And otherwise their salaries would, I believe it's 1/12 of their salary is being withheld by the state,
Right.
as well as funds they get from federal aid
Right.
through any grants or anything. Unfortunately, Palm Beach County, our superintendent has said that they're okay with losing the funding, and all but said that children don't have a fundamental right to not wear a mask, was his recent.
Does he have children?
His children are all grown, to my knowledge.
Yeah, but I wonder how he would like his children to be in school all day long with a mask. It's hard enough, especially if you wear glasses, to wear a mask. Like I watched you guys on your videos that were great, by the way. And your glasses just not even the part with, actually having the mask on and it really bothers you a lot, right? It really bothers me that children have to go outside with a mask on too. Is that correct?
They've lifted that here, right? This year you're allowed to take it off outside.
Oh, some people like still wear it. Some people like take it off,
They're allowed to take it off outside now, but they're sticking to it indoors anywhere.
Right.
They're only outside about 20 minutes a day for recess.
How many kids are in your class, Fiona?
Including me, that's 20.
20. Right. And how does a teacher like to wear a mask all day, I wonder? I'm not asking about your teacher, but I can imagine there's teachers out there that hate the mask. Because for an adult to wear the mask, it's even harder sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, and the governor said no mask mandates. So I can't understand why these superintendent and all these people that are on the school board don't get it. Right?
Yeah, right.
I wish they would get it sooner than later so the child can go back to school.
Well, I think the best thing that can happen, do you have elections coming up in Florida for the school board?
Unfortunately, it's November of 2022, and there's just a few of the seats up then. The remaining weren't eligible till 2024.
That's scary, actually. I just believe that you have one of the best cases against them. And I'm seeing, what really amazed me, Fiona, is your second visit to the school board, where I saw you and then I saw these other kids. Tell me the story about the little girl but she was in the 8th grade, I think, that came up to you after the meeting and said what?
She said, "Great job" to me.
And she was really proud of you because you gave her the courage to get up and do it, right?
Yes.
Can you imagine all the kids that could stand up and do this with their parents? I mean, there's got to be other mothers and children. At least I saw a lot of them, or a few of them at that meeting. So when's the next school board meeting? Maybe I'll come down for it.
October 20th, next Wednesday.
And so the next board meeting, what are you going to do at the next board meeting? Do you know?
I'm going to speak.
Tell her.
So have you had a chance to talk to the governor yet?
We have not. We've sent many emails, made many phone calls. I know there's others calling the governor, telling him to stand up for Fiona and let her back in school because her school refuses. Most people haven't heard of this discipline happening in other schools.
And I'm going to help you as much as I can. How about that?
We would appreciate it very much. Would you like that?
So I think you tell other kids to be brave and stand up too. Do you think there's going to be more kids coming because of you to this next meeting and parents?
Yes.
You do? I agree. So what would you like to tell kids out there why you believe what you're doing is the right thing? Tell me why.
Well, I believe it's the right thing because I'm following the law. The school board isn't, and it isn't right. Like the school board should be following the law, but it isn't. And I'm trying to follow the law because my
Right.
parents teach me to follow the law.
And that's the most important thing. And the other thing that I want to say is, what's it doing to affect your schoolwork, and what are they doing? Why are they punishing you for that? That's what I want to know.
We
Mom.
we hadn't told her all of the details of that. We had told her most of it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. You get to hear the other details now. Her teacher actually asked me for a phone conference early last week, and told me that suddenly Fiona was academically so far behind, she didn't know if it was possible to catch up. I explained that Fiona was doing all of the assignments that the teacher sent home. And she told me that those assignments, it didn't matter, and were sitting in a drawer in her desk ungraded. They were only so she could monitor the progression in the classroom of picking up and actually learning what she was teaching. She told me the only thing that mattered were assessments that Fiona was unable to complete because they had to be done in the classroom. I asked if they could be done in the office in front of the principal or assistant principal. And she had told me no, but that I could speak with the principal. I had not even contacted the principal the next day when Fiona got to school that morning, and she was allowed to start an assessment in the office hallway with the principal and assistant principals in and out of their offices, coming and going. They have a special desk for Fiona in the office hallway where she is to sit until I get there to pick her up in the mornings.
My question, how many assessments does she have to complete?
I was told it was either 8 or 9. She has now finished the first one. So she has either 7 or 8 left to complete. When she does go to school, she spends about 40 to 50 minutes on average right in there in the classroom. And I asked the teacher why the assessments couldn't be given then, as she stated that they took about 15 minutes to complete. She told me there was no time to give her an assessment in that 40 plus minutes that takes 15 because she's busy doing other things. I actually offered to bring Fiona early in any day that was convenient for her when she's in the classroom anyway, or for Fiona to remain after school, or to allow her to miss recess to complete an assessment. But of course, she's not there for a recess. Still offered to bring her early or late, or leave her late. And I was told that it was no problem and that all work could be completed in the classroom when she returns. I guess the teacher didn't anticipate Fiona not complying for as long as she has not.
What have you done so far, Bailey, to fight the system?
We've been reaching out to the Department of Education, to the governor. I was kind of just waiting for it to blow over until it was the 12th or 13th or so day of suspension. I received a letter with a referral stating Fiona was suspended for an additional 3 days, that her absences were becoming excessive and becoming a problem, and that I was facing second-degree misdemeanor charges for not bringing my child to school, and that I needed to get her under the care of a doctor for the excessive absences because they're all unexcused. And Fiona had 3 absences that were all excused prior and during this happening. One was during, 2 were during, I'm sorry, 1 was prior to this beginning. And they're telling me that her absences of unexcused absences are excessive.
Here's my question. Isn't there a thing with the doctor's permission they don't have to wear the mask. Am I right or wrong?
There isn't, they will not take, Palm Beach County will not take just a doctor's note for them to not wear a mask, but they require you to get either a 504 plan or an IEP plan, which are for the special needs children, or any sort of special need that needs to be accommodated through the school while they're at the school and learning. Fiona had heard me Googling that one day. I kind of texted it in, looking at the beginning of all of this with another parent. And her immediate reaction, she asked me what it was, and I explained it. And then she asked if I was going to get one for her. And I said, I didn't think so, but why? And what did you tell me when I asked you about the 50 or explain the 504 plan?
I said we don't joke around about our health.
She told me we don't joke, good because we don't joke about my health.
Right.
And as soon as
Yeah, go
that
ahead.
to me, I didn't want to even consider moving forward with it at that point, realizing that she knew at 7 years old that it was the wrong thing to do, to go say that, that she had issues because of it, other than the emotional stress and all of that from the discipline that's arising from it, from not wearing a mask. So we didn't want to go and make something up to jump on board and get one of those plans. To us, it didn't seem like the right way to go about things. We've always taught her to tell the truth and to not lie about things. So what good does it do if we go turn our backs and say, oh, well, it's okay to lie this one time? The school hasn't said much, because as I'm told, they're following district protocol. I was told many times they were waiting for the district to let them know what type of discipline was coming next. I actually received one of the phone calls I've received in the last couple of weeks stated she's out for another 3 days. We haven't got any changes from the district on that as of yet.
I mean, this is really emotionally hard for you as a parent, as parents, and it has to be really tough on Fiona not to be with her friends, not to learn the way she is. And she's a very smart little girl. So I can't imagine, what it's like for her to not be with those children. But it was amazing, Fiona, when those kids on the other video I saw started saying, I can't see my friends. I can't see my teacher and what she looks like. Do you know what your teacher looks like?
Under her mask.
No.
We actually saw a first grade teacher at a store, and it took Fiona a minute, and the teacher had her mask on, and I had no idea who she was. Of course, we'd only met once or twice. I had no idea who she was. She had no idea who I was. And she recognized Fiona from the back, because all she'd seen her in was a mask. And when this school year started, we promised Fiona when they gave the opt-out that she wouldn't have to wear one. And then the district went and just took that right back and just took the rights away from the parents, basically telling us we don't have a right to tell them no, when they're getting paid with our tax dollars.
So they're taking away her constitutional rights, right? And your rights as a parent to decide what should be happening and what type of education your child needs to have. Did you homeschool her last year at all?
We did for part of the year because in person was not an option. Fiona is a much better student in the classroom. She absolutely thrives in the environment. She loves it. She loves to be in class and attending school. She's the kid who wants to be in the drop-off line at 30 minutes before school starts so she can go have breakfast with her friends and go see old teachers and say hi to them on her way to class.
Right. Like every child likes to do. I think that's so important, that having that time with each other, it makes it fun to be in school. So what's happening with you makes me want to cry, because I think that it's cruel to do what they're doing to you today. I agree with the gentleman that spoke on the second video, and I don't know who he was and what he was, he was showing, but he really gave it to them about what the Constitution says and what you're supposed to have. And, with Governor Santos in office, that was one of the governors that I really admire. But I really think we're going to get a letter somehow to not only him, but former President Trump.
We
And
can do
I
that.
will call, just for you and your mom, Fiona, I will call the governor's office. Okay, I will. Okay.
It would be nice if we could ever get a response. We've
Yeah,
been waiting.
well, you never know. I usually do. How about that?
That'd be great, because I know there's many people calling on behalf of Fiona.
Right.
Sending emails and leaving voicemails with the words "stand up for Fiona" so she can go back to school, because I don't know how normal this is in the district. A lot of people are just pulling them out and homeschooling, and I don't want to do that, because Fiona thrives in the classroom. She loves to be there.
Right.
She would go to school year round if she could. She loves it.
Well, I can't tell you how proud I am of you as a young lady that's growing up in a great environment. Unfortunately, not the school environment, but the parent. And it sounds like your grandfather is a really cool guy. Is that right?
Yeah.
Does he have a farm and horses and all that kind of stuff?
Actually, he doesn't have a farm, but he does have a horse.
He does have a horse, and he gave you a horse, right? A
Yeah.
pony or a horse?
A horse.
A horse. Oh my gosh. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. It's been such a pleasure having you on Kathryn Raaker's World, along with your mom, Bailey. And thank you so
Thank you,
much
Kathryn.
for giving me the honor of meeting you. I'm very excited about it. Okay.
Thank you so much, Kathryn. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And we'll see
Thank you, Kathryn.
Welcome. Thank you. And we'll see you next time on Kathryn Raaker's World, and also letsjusttalkradio.com.